So we've got a new solar install to show you. This is on a Lance slide-in, and we've got a MPP solar 1012 LV all-in-one unit. Solar disconnect is there to the left, that's that breaker, and you can see the battery fuse underneath it. It's a Cyclenbatt 100 amp hour 12 volt battery. These are really neat because they're the smallest form factor for these batteries that we've found, and we needed that in order to fit it through that opening. This is the AC output, and we've run that down into the breaker panel where we have solar and mains. So the main is off, the solar is on right now, and so this is powering the entire RV. The reason we went with a installation like that, it was the easiest way without having to dive into all of the existing wiring. This also powers up the charge converter, charges the onboard 12 volt lead acid battery for the other systems. There is some more advanced wiring that we could do, but for this particular use case, that wasn't in the budget. So this was the most direct way to wire the system in, utilizing the power that can be produced in order to run everything in the fifth wheel. We will be installing an interlock on those breakers to ensure that there's no backfeeding to the shore power. Right now, we're having a problem finding the interlock, but it's coming. The system is powered by one 380 watt solar panel. You can see where we did the roof penetration, put the gland in, ran the wire. Everything's been loomed and cinched down. A couple of reasons. This panel actually fit perfect for the spot. It takes up less real estate than trying to mount three or four 100 watt panels. And there is a roof rack or a cargo rack underneath the panel that was existing on the RV. So we utilized that and the track mounts on it in order to mount the panel. What I do want you to see is where the solar cables came in. I like to minimize the hole sizes and the penetrations, and I'll insert a picture of the grommets we used from the roof so that we could keep the holes at a minimum. Same thing with the wire penetrations for the DC coming from the battery and for the AC. Because we put this in a cabinet, we needed to vent the cabinet. So at the low side, we put a 2.5 inch vent hole, and at the top side, we put a 2.5 inch vent hole, and that should provide enough convection in order to keep the inverter cool while it's running. If that doesn't work, we'll put a thermal fan on the top one to exhaust the heat. You know, as with a lot of these builds, customers have their budgets, they have the systems they want, and you have to work within those constraints. So everything has every system that needs circuit protection has circuit protection. We've got the PV disconnect is also a DC circuit breaker. We've got the battery fused, and for the AC, we've got a breaker. So it is set up for everything that he needs to run. And let's see what we're pulling on solar right now. So 240 watts coming in. It's probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun isn't directly overhead. I expect that to hit 300 when it gets completely overhead, so you'll have plenty of power, and there's not much of a load right now on the inverter. So the inverter's pulling 210 watts. That's the idle consumption, plus his fridge is on right now, cooling off. And then we have the converter that would be running in order to charge the 12-volt battery that's back here somewhere. And then lights and little vampire circuits like the clock on the microwave. I don't really know if that's what time it is, but it'll be close. So yeah, this is the latest installation. I think it went really well. I think things look really good. And I guess I'm supposed to say, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Have a good one.